let's talk about some VCA jewelry drama. As you guys know, I've been doing a lot more jewelry videos in the last few months. It's something that I've always been really passionate about. I love jewelry, and so discussing it more, talking about my collection, featuring my favorite pieces in my collection in my little series called My Favorite Pieces. It's been really, really fun. And so I was working on a video where I talk about the new basic jewelry, these really high-end luxury pieces that were so coveted, and because of that, so many people bought it and added it to their collection and shared them with social media, and now they're so prevalent, so common that they've become the new basic. At least that's some people's thoughts. Anyways, it just so happens that I was working on that video when I was scrolling on Instagram and I ran into a video from one of my favorite jewelry content creators. Her name is Angel and her handle is Midlife Crisis Girl. And not only is she a content creator, a lover of jewelry, but she recently launched her own brand, Worship God. So I really love her account, and that's probably why my feed always shows me her videos. And she posted a video where she talks about this influencer on TikTok who was having this really unfortunate situation with one of the high-end beloved luxury jewelry brands, and that is Van Cleef and Arpels. So I watched the video and then I took myself to TikTok, because when something like this happens, my ADHD just will not let me let it go. I need to see all the videos, I need to read all the comments. So I went and took a deep dive into this person's account and the story. So let's talk about what happened. So this is Monica, and she posted a video where she said, let me de-influence you about buying pieces from this brand. As I mentioned, the brand is Van Cleef and Arpels. Sorry if I'm not pronouncing that 100% properly. I'm not a French speaker, but I try. And because I know that I will likely not pronounce correctly, I'm just gonna call them VCA from now on. So she bought this very popular piece from the brand that is called a guilloche, and it is made with 18 karat gold, and it is a motif bracelet that features 5 of these charms on the bracelet. And again, it's 18 karat gold, all of it. By the way, it's either guilloche or guilloche. I've heard it pronounced both ways. Sorry if that's not correct either. There are no stones, no enamel, it's all 18 karat gold. So when she makes this video, it's been 2 months since she purchased the item, and she noticed that there was some tarnishing or some rusting happening to it. So she had sent it off to get polished, and it was returned to her and it looked the same. So she goes back to her local VCA store where she bought it, and she speaks to the person who sold her and says, look, we're having this issue. So while she's there, the manager comes by. She didn't know she was the manager at the time, but she comes by and she looks at the piece and basically starts gaslighting her. Now, I know that term is used a lot, but it's actually gaslighting. The term comes from an old film where a husband is trying to make his wife think that she's going crazy. The woman is experiencing things are happening, she's seeing things, and her husband tries to convince her that they're not happening, that what she is seeing is not actually what she's seeing, that she's going crazy. And of course, that's not true. He's just trying to make her think that she's going crazy. And so that is where the term gaslighting comes from. And so this woman is doing just that. Monica comes in with her bracelet that clearly has some tarnishing or some rusting. There's an issue there. This woman is sitting there with her jewelry, you know, magnifying glass device and saying, no, that's a shadow. See, that's just your finger. That's a reflection.
If you're looking here, you're actually at your skin. Because I mean, look from here. There's no discoloration. So when you're holding your loop and you're looking here, that's your finger reflection in it. I don't see it, but if you guys...
It's not as obvious now. So.
Yeah. Because I mean, when you're looking at it, it's like a reflect, it's like a mirror.
And it's just nuts because we can see it too. With the photos and the video that she takes, there's clearly something there. So that was insane and beyond terrible customer service. The other thing that this woman says to her is, did you put on any perfume? Are you wearing any lotion? Now, again, this is an 18 karat gold bracelet that she purchased 2 months ago. Now, I have owned a lot of jewelry for many, many years. I own 18 karat gold. I also own 14 karat gold. And yes, gold can tarnish and rust, but I've never experienced it. But ultimately, she's left with a choice. She can either have it sent off to get polished again, which she's done before, but it's gonna come back exactly the same because she'd already done that. The other option is that she can just simply replace that one motif, have it replaced with a new one, but all of this she has to pay for. So that's when she decides to go on social media and just talk about the terrible, terrible experience that she had. Now, I have to agree. This is terrible customer service. This is terrible choices made by that manager and that store. And to me, the gaslighting is just insane to me, that they would just pretend like it's not there. And the person who sold her the bracelet acknowledged that there was something there was something off. And even she at some point acknowledged that there was something off, because she asked, are you wearing perfume? Did you put on lotion? Because that potentially could be a cause for something like this happening. So in order for her to ask those questions, is because she has to be admitting that there's something off there.
Did you put on perfume today?
No, I didn't put on any
Lotion?
perfume. No, I have no lotion on me.
You didn't
I'm
put anything on this, like, before you came here?
No. The Van Cleef bracelet that I have, I'm not using any harsh chemicals on it. I'm not spraying perfume or wearing lotion. Like, my hands are so dry. I'm not using any lotion. Like, and I'm not too sure why it's only that Van Cleef bracelet that's getting tarnished, because none of my other bracelets are tarnished. Like, if you look at them, they're super scratched up, but none of them are tarnished. Why is my bracelet tarnishing? I'm not spraying any chemicals or anything on this bracelet. And I'm not gonna lie, I do use perfume. I'm not spraying it on the bracelet, but maybe perfume has gotten on it. Maybe I put lotion on it, who knows? I never took this bracelet off ever since getting it, because I purchased this thinking that it's really gold, it's very durable. I didn't have to worry about it tarnishing, and it has. I have friends with this bracelet. I have 4 friends that I know of with this bracelet. There was no tarnish going on with their bracelets. They tell me that they wear their bracelets all the time. They never take it off. They wear perfume, they wear body lotion, they go inside the pool, the jacuzzi, the freaking beach. This never tarnished for them, but for me, mine has tarnished. And just the customer service, and now them telling me that if it's me spraying perfume and lotion and everything, it's gonna tarnish. I don't want this piece anymore. I purchased this thinking that it would not tarnish because it's gold, but it's tarnishing. Also, when I voiced my concerns that it is tarnishing, they want nothing to do with it. They don't even want to help me fix this. And I have to be scared now of it tarnishing.
Now this is a quality issue. This is a manufacturing issue that they should have taken care of. Like, it should go without saying. A new 18 karat gold piece that was purchased just 2 months earlier should not be tarnishing, should not be rusting. I've never experienced it. And I wear lotions and I put on perfume, and I've just never, again, it does happen. It can happen and it does happen, but after many, many years of use. And again, I am 38 years old. I've worn pieces for many years. I've had pieces in my collection since I was a kid, and I've never seen it. So the fact that this piece is tarnishing and rusting, or something like this is happening within 2 months of it being purchased, tells me that it's a manufacturing thing. As the story grew, a lot of people started leaving comments and making videos with their ideas as to what could have possibly happened here. Now, some people in the comments told her that what may have happened is that someone returned a fake VCA piece to the store, and that is what was sold to her. Like, somehow the store missed it and then resold that fake counterfeit piece dupe to her, and that's what happened. But of course that wasn't the case, because if VCA received a piece, I mean, it has happened, I think, with like handbags, where a dupe is so well made that it might confuse a sales associate, and they might accept it thinking that it's a real authentic piece because it is so, you know, well duped. But again, I remind you that that piece was taken to get repolished. So certainly the VCA jeweler or person who received the piece to get polished would immediately recognize if it was a fake, a counterfeit, and would not have polished it and just sent it back. Now, one of the things that a jeweler who has a TikTok account, who I started following because the pieces that he makes are incredible, this jeweler made a video responding to her TikTok where he says that he thinks that what's happening here is that her piece is actually gold plated and not solid 18 karat gold. And that led Monica to take her piece to a jeweler to pay to get the item tested. And they were able to confirm that the piece is indeed 18 karat gold, and it was able to tell her what her piece was mixed with. Now, if you're unfamiliar with gold, the way that it works is that 24 karat gold is pure gold, 18 karat gold is 75% gold, 14 karat gold is 58.3% gold. 18 karat gold pieces are usually mixed with silver, copper, and nickel. But a lot of people don't use it because that gold is soft, and so it's easier to damage. And so The lesser carats, so the 18 karat and the 14 karat, those are mixed with like copper and silver so that they're a little more durable. And by the way, just a little fun fact, in the United States, legally 10 karat is the smallest amount of carat that can be legally called gold. If you see anything that's 9 karat gold in the United States, that is not considered gold. It has to be a minimum of 10 carats. Personally, I prefer 18 karat gold. That's just what I grew up with, what I really like. 24 karat gold can be very beautiful, and there are a lot of cultures that only use 22 but mainly 24 karat gold. However, it does have more of an orangey color to it. It has a deeper color to it, and I'm just not a fan of that, but you will see a range of gold when you're shopping. By the way, if you're new here, welcome, bienvenidos. My name is Jessica Flores and I am a lifestyle creator. I create content about fashion, beauty, DIY projects, luxury, family, travel, and so much more. So if any of those topics interest you, go ahead and click that subscribe button and the bell icon next to the subscribe button so you can set your notifications for all. I make new videos every week, but I don't have a set schedule. So if you have your notifications on, you won't miss a thing. So Monica continues to share updates and continues her story, responding to comments and updating people, and these videos are going viral. People are commenting all over VCA's social media, so they've become very much aware of the situation, and ultimately a regional manager, I believe, reaches out to Monica and says, you know, we would love to replace the bracelet for you. And Monica says to that person that basically, I had such a terrible experience, it's left a bad taste in my mouth, and I really just want a refund. I don't want to own it. I want a refund, and they accept. And in the end, they send someone over to pick up that piece, and that person leaves Monica with the gift. And the gift is some beautiful orchids and this item that she unboxes on her TikTok. She also gets a card that has an apology in it, and it's signed by that regional manager, the manager of the store, the one who was gaslighting her, and I think the sales associate who originally sold her the piece. But it was all, you know, in one handwriting, so Monica says that she thinks it was just the regional manager. And the big reveal of the gift is that it's a book that explains how VCA jewelry is made. And so we're left thinking, was this shady? I mean, you could certainly take it that way. If she had this terrible experience, she's getting this item checked to see if it's actual gold. People are telling her that it's gold plated. People are telling her that it shouldn't rust. People telling her that there's quality issues here, that there's manufacturing issues here, that that's what's causing the tarnishing. And so they send her a book that explains how these pieces are made. And I'm sure the book is beautiful and just says, we use only the best quality. We use only the best jewelers. The gold is mined by angels, and the gold is soldered by the firstborns of royal families, etc., etc. So she thinks it was shady. She thinks she was basically getting brand-splained how these pieces are made to make her maybe look foolish about her issues. But again, it's very clear that these were very, very real issues. There were certainly customer service issues, and this just could have been so easily taken care of, especially by a brand this large that sells pieces this expensive. This isn't like a struggling small business, right? They could have eaten that cost very easily. It would have been nothing to them. This isn't even one of their most expensive pieces. Yes, it's expensive. It's expensive, period. It's a $6,000 18 karat gold bracelet. But for this brand, I think it's like an introductory tier product. So it's, like I said, doesn't even have diamonds. This brand has been around for a long time, and they make incredible, gorgeous, fine jewelry. So having this person come in and just simply replacing it, acknowledging that there's a tarnish there, that she bought it 2 months ago. So the store could have just easily replaced that motif for her with no charge. And that's it. But now it's gone viral, and so many people are coming out with their own experiences, their own unhappy, whether it's customer service or quality issues that they've had with the brand. That's all coming out of the woodwork. And these pieces are some of the most coveted and accessible for the brand, accessible pieces that someone who loves jewelry, who spends a lot of time looking at jewelry on social media, this is one of the most accessible pieces they could aspire to eventually add to their collection one day. But now their reputation has been a bit tainted. People are worried, well, if I do save up the $6,000 to buy this piece, will it happen to me? And will I be, you know, SOL if it happens to me? Because not everyone has the following that Monica has, and it's my opinion that this issue was resolved the way that it was because she has the followers that she has and the platform that she has, and when she spoke, many, many people listened. But for the rest of us who don't have 1 million followers plus, yeah, we would probably be SOL. I saw another TikTok from another jeweler who responded to Monica, and she is a jeweler, she makes jewelry pieces, and she said that she thinks that what she's seeing there is actually fire scale. So this jeweler explains that this is definitely a manufacturing problem, and what fire scale is that when you're melting the metal, when you're heating the metal, what happens is that the copper in the piece starts to oxidize. And so basically it's a burn on the metal. And that's what she thinks is what is happening here, that it's not necessarily rusting or tarnishing, it's fire scale. But regardless of what it actually is and how it happened, we know that this person should not be seeing this in a piece that she spent $6,000 on just 2 months earlier. So what are my thoughts on the situation? I mean, number one, it was just bad decision making on so many levels, at so many points of this whole situation. I think, again, it could have easily been taken care of by the store if they had just replaced it. They would have acknowledged it, not tried to make her look like she was crazy or dumb or what have you, not gaslight her, and just say, yes, we see it, there's an issue here, you've already paid for it to get polished, that's clearly not an issue, so this is a manufacturing issue, let's replace just the motif, replace the whole bracelet, whatever. I think she would have been happy if they replaced that motif and it would have been the end of the story. That would have been the easiest thing to do, the most affordable thing for the brand to do, because I think this has cost them a lot of money. Because in the comment section, you will see people saying, I was gonna buy this, this was on my wish list, and now I'm not going to because there's no guarantee that it won't happen to me. Now, one of the things that was revealed during this situation is that VCA has a guarantee of only 30 days. So if something happens to your piece within those first 30 days, they will help you out with it. But if it happens on the 31st day, you are, again, SOL. They're not going to take care of it. One of the other thoughts that I'm having is just like we need to be a little more thoughtful about where we buy our things. Now, listen, I know that I'm saying this sitting in front of a bunch of designer handbags that I know, I acknowledge, I know that I'm mainly paying for the brand name more than I am the materials or the hand craftsmanship, the quality of these pieces. I know that, but I think it's a little different when it comes to jewelry because that has such a tangible price attached to it. And when it comes to handbags, I feel like there's a little bit more mystery. You can sort of guesstimate what the actual value of the piece is versus what the price is because it's coming from a, designer high-end luxury brand versus gold, where we know exactly how much an ounce of gold costs. And there are ways to calculate how much a 5-carat diamond with this color, this clarity, how much that costs. So I feel like with jewelry, it's a little more tangible, the cost, than like a handbag or a piece of ready-to-wear or shoes, etc. Now, of course, there is an artistry to it. There are designs. There are intricate, work that needs to be done to create these pieces, and that doesn't have a set price. That is going to cost money. If something is a simple gold band, you could get that anywhere. But if a piece has some intricate work done to it, intricate design, different components to it, gemstones, diamonds, semi-precious stones, that value starts to go up. So there's a little bit of that there. I personally cannot bring myself, not that I could afford it anyway. Let's just say there, I'm gonna be honest with you, I can't afford to just go out and buy a $6,000 gold bracelet right now. But even if I did have the $6,000, but let me give credit where credit's due, that piece is beautiful and it's not a simple little band. It's a very nice piece with this intricate folding that happens. So that takes work, that takes artistry, that takes a lot of talent to make. But yeah, I don't know. I would just rather have other more unique pieces. But that's my opinion. That's just me. But still, what I said stands. We need to be more aware of the brands that we are shopping and their policies, their return policies, their care policies. I find it a little shocking that their guarantee or their window of, if anything goes wrong, we'll take care of it, is just 30 days. For things that are 18 karat gold, I feel like it should be longer than that. But like I said, just do your research, make sure you understand fully where you're shopping from and what their policies are. So what did you think about this VCA scandal? Did you hear about it? What do you think about that woman who was just like, no, that's a shadow, that's a reflection? That was, I almost have no words. That was crazy. Do you think this is going to cause irreparable harm to the brand, or do you think that much like a lot of the news happens, it'll just go away and people will forget about it in a few weeks and people will still love those pieces and the brand? Or do you think that the brand will be just fine because it's been around for forever and these pieces aren't necessarily their bread and butter? Because, I mean, they have, again, some really exquisite pieces, really amazing, expensive, heirloom, fine jewelry pieces. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, if you found it informative, if you learned something, or if I just entertained you for a few minutes, please give me a thumbs up. It really helps me out here on YouTube. It just lets the algorithm know that my videos are worth watching and it'll push it to more viewers. If you did enjoy this video, then you might want to check out this one. Thank you again for watching. Stay tuned.